I thought we really started the game and just really battling and had opportunities to start the game even better. And when you looked at missed layups by Charles, missed layups by Josh, missed free throws by Ike, missed free throw by Josh, you had a chance to even put them in more of a hole. And a team of that caliber, when you get an opportunity to do that, you need to do that because they settled down, they came back on us and took the lead on us, and we fought to hang in there with them. But it's probably, when I look at tape, I'm going to see the same old tape again. The mental kind of lapses on the floor where you'll forget to block out, forget to rotate, miss a layup, miss a free throw. Those are things that you can only get so far as a coach and a system of putting things in where players have to step up and have some ownership and learn how to put teams away, close out halves, close out games. And that's where we're at right now. We've seen it before, we're there again. And that's just about experience and growth that they're just not there yet, but they certainly are putting themselves in a position for me to have these conversations with you. I thought, again, Josh has made some great strides this last week. We've challenged him to do a better job defensively. With the exception of Anderson, I thought we battled them extremely well, playing them just straight up without trapping the post. And I thought we had an excellent game plan. Obviously, with the way we started the game, it showed that.
Coach, I know I've asked a couple of questions in the past about the players' mindset during certain situations. You mentioned athletes have a different mindset than us, but as this losing streak continues and deficits grow, do you ever get the feeling of that the players have a "here we go again" mentality when things get tough?
I think it's very easy for young people to have that mentality. And again, being in these situations before, the thing I look at is how they bounce back though. And do they bounce back at practice with their energy, with their focus? Do they come out competitive again? And I see those things. The here we go again mentality is, again, the ability to learn how to win, how to close, how to win games and that. Well, Washington State as a program is in this transition right now where they've been in a lot of situations like this, and then we need to come through it. And it may come next week, it may come at the end of this month. I'm sure hoping it comes sometime this season so we don't have to take it into the summer and take it into next year. But that's where they're at. They're close, but they need to learn how to win more so than just play the game, learn how to win the game. That's a mental thing. And that's why I've talked about being mentally and physically tougher. Is really about being mentally tough enough to know your job, do your job, knock down free throws, make layups, put people away. That's a mental thing. And that's kind of when you turn programs, kind of the last piece, because that's that here we go again may have been in that mind for a long time before Coach Kent got here. That's that mindset we're changing right now. Let's be winners. Let's learn how to win. Let's learn how to close. Let's expect to win. Let's want to win. Let's get it done. That's where we're at right now with them.
In that regard, did you see any growth during that stretch where you cut it from 19 in the second half to 8 or 9?
I did. I don't see a team that quits at all. I see a team that forgets. They don't quit. They just forget. And what I mean by that is having the mental toughness on a possession by possession basis to know your job and do your job without one guy breaking down. Your veteran teams, your experienced teams, your more talented teams, your more mentally tougher teams have an ability to do that. There's slippage throughout the game by everybody. It's who has the least amount of slippage. And right now, we're having too many guys that break down at the wrong time. You do 27 seconds of defense. We don't close out on Tellis, and he gets a three-pointer right in front of our bench with 3 seconds on the shot clock. It's because you don't put the pressure on. That's a mental thing. You know, we have junior reaches and fouls Anderson with 3 seconds on the shot clock down in front of their bench. That's a mental thing. Where you got a guy locked up, how do you do that without making that mental breakdown? There are some situations on the floor where we were 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock, and there's a back door, and a guy doesn't see his guy, loses. That's a mental thing. That's where we're at right now.
Can it be even more mentally taxing for Josh and Ike when there really isn't that third or fourth scorer there to relieve some pressure on them?
Well, maybe Josh, Ike, and Coach Kent too, because we think that guy should be there right now because there's certainly enough candidates there, and yet we started the game with an opportunity for a third scorer to have a lot of points out there on the floor. And when you get two players that go a combined 5 of 25 in 64 minutes, that's hard to coach to do that. So that's about the confidence, that's about being ready to play and being locked in and all those things.
How do you keep that balance of when Charles is struggling from the floor, still kind of giving him that green light to keep his confidence up, but also saying, hey, maybe, pass the ball to this guy or that guy?
The example I use again is Aaron Brooks. His junior year, there's 9 games, you give him the ball, he kicks it out of bounds, throws it away, turns it over in 6 out of the 9 games, and we're a struggling basketball team. His senior year, there's 11 games, you give him the ball, he becomes Big Shot Brooks, he hits 6 game winners for you and controls it. It's about growth, it's about having confidence in them that they will figure it out and they will get to where they need to get to. And they have to go through the adversity to get there. There's no shortcuts. You can't just leapfrog over it. They have to learn how to do it.
Hey, Coach Kent, I just had a quick question. You guys made the run in the second half. It was 61-53. And there just seemed like there was a couple times offensively that your guys just were a little too quick. I'm pretty sure Callison shot a pretty quick jumper right off the break, didn't set up for offense. Like when you get to that point, is there like certain things where that's where the guys start hitting the wall, where they're almost in it and they need one more possession?
No, because that same play he made was the same play we made to get to that point. So just got to understand that. We scored those 7 points real quick. He hit a 3, he hit a pull-up. It was the same shot. He made the right play. A speed transition down the floor. You have the defense backpedaling. That's a basketball one-on-one play. Pull up at the free throw line, knock down jumper. If he makes it, boom, huge momentum. If he misses it, boom, it takes some of the momentum away. So I don't fault him for taking that shot. The only thing I thought in that is he probably could have hit ahead to Ike. If Ike could drive the layup, maybe get a foul, but at least he didn't go out of there uncontrolled and throw it away. He shot a good shot. You may call it quick, but that's how we play. We play, you got to kind of live and die with that speed. We play with putting pressure on your defense. Arizona, we couldn't allow them to set up defensively because they're a really good defensive team. That's why we have to stay in transition to get them in as many off-balance situations defensively as possible to give ourselves a chance to get some good looks.
Thank you.
Now, you had a couple more, though, I have a question where he drove in for the layups. He got smothered. Now, those, no.